Welcome to this Junior's Gasoline Alley, where today we're doing a mod on my Redcat Gen 8. So this Gen 8 has been an awesome trail rig, and I got this hankering to get a little more angle out of it and a little more performance. So I did some research online, started thinking it's time to add some brass, and well boys, I blew about 275 bucks on Amazon with all brass and aluminum axles for both the front and the rear. Now, I went ahead and I did the Amazon specials rather than the Trial or some of the better known brands, just because, you know, it gets expensive to do it. So I'm hoping that this video is gonna help you know whether or not it was worth spending 275 bucks, or if you should really just keep your truck, which only costs 300 to begin with, stock in its stock form. Well, so in this video, it's gonna be lined out with first a quick baseline. I'm gonna take a weight of the current truck, and then we'll take it outside and we'll see how it does on an incline to figure out just how steep it can crawl stock. Then we're gonna jump back in, do a quick montage of installing all the parts, then pull it out, weigh it again, take it up that incline, and then we're gonna hit the trails, and I'll give you my feedback on whether or not any of those improvements made a difference in the real world. So I hope this is interesting to you, and let's go ahead and jump into what this thing weighs stock. And to go ahead and measure just how much weight that we're adding to the truck, I'm gonna first put it onto the scale here in totally stock form, so that way we can see just how much it weighs. Try to get this balanced on there. There you go, 119.2 ounces. And if we just switch that into grams, you'll see that that is gonna weigh in at 3,379 grams. So to get a sense of whether or not we're making any progress by adding the brass, what I wanted to do is go ahead and set up a little incline so that the truck can run up. Now, because of the setup, I am going to give it just a touch right at the rear wheels as it goes up. But what we're watching for is whether or not it can make up this high traction carpet and get past my clamps. So now we're at about 51 and a half. Let's see. So I'll give it a little push here at the bottom. Wow, that's impressive. Stock 51 and a half. You can see that nose is just dancing there. So time to tear into this. It's not gonna be a full-on DIY because I bet you can do it on your own. And we'll see what the difference comes in at. Got the truck all set up with metal axles on here. I've got our ramp just like we had before, but this time I've set it up to start off with at just over 52 degrees. I think we should be able to get going from there. So let's set you up and let's see how we do. So just like before, little push. Oh, up 52 degrees, no problem. So a little push on the bottom here. There we go, we can even do that with a little bit of extra speed. Let's do it one more time just to confirm. I'll tell you what, that's really quite impressive. I mean, to be able to do this at 54.4 degrees is really incredible. It did 55 earlier, but that wasn't quite controllable. Wow, that before and after is pretty impressive. So stock, it was 51.5 degrees outside, and then after adding these axles, it jumped all the way up to 55 degrees. There was a couple of times where it almost made 55.5, but I think 55 is the real fair number for just how steep that this can climb on its own. Now keep in mind those tests were done with carpet on that incline, but that was on purpose so that the tires didn't affect it. And then for weight, without a battery, it went from 3,379 grams to 3,898 grams. So that's a 519 gram addition weight to this truck, which equals out to about 1.14 pounds. So in the hand, you know, it's pretty heavy. So the truck as it sits is 8 pounds, 9.5 ounces. When you add in a 3S LiPo, it jumps up to about 9.5 pounds. So we're talking a real beast now. So with all that in mind, let's see if those numbers relate to anything out on the trail. I'll tell you, after a couple of trail runs, I've been having a ton of fun with this truck. So a couple of things are worth mentioning here. It was not 100% all pluses, but on the whole it is, and I'm pretty happy that I did it. The first piece would be when going up a steep incline, this truck is definitely a lot more planted. So once you're onto that rock, it holds on really well. It's gonna climb very strong. And I felt like it was working out way better than before. Now the place where that was a little bit of a shadow side was that as you were going in and you're on this sort of angle and maybe there's a rock that you've got to jump over, I think the extra weight of the truck started to tax out the tires and the tire foams. I could see that the foams are deforming a little bit. It was getting hung up in places that I wouldn't have normally thought it would get hung up, but that was only on occasion in just the right scenario. Now, a place where it was way, way better was on the descents. So going down, that's been one of the things that, I've been not psyched about with this truck. So with all that weight up front, it climbs pretty reasonable out of the box, but descending, it's real quick to tip right over. So with the extra weight, especially when we've put it onto the back, that extra weight really is helping it be a lot more planted. The other place that this made a difference, no surprise, was in side hilling capabilities. So when it's on an incline to the side, you can see here, it can be pretty close and it's really well balanced, So that's really neat. Well, anyways, in conclusion, I think it was worth doing the upgrade. Now, if you're trying to keep it on a budget, save a little bit of money, my advice to you would be to tackle the front end first. I think that's gonna make the biggest difference, maybe some portal covers in the back. But I've got everything linked down in the description so you can take a look yourself, check out what I used on this. Keep in mind the Amazon specials that we put on here might not be quite as heavy as what you'd get from Triol or some of these high-end brands, but it's about half the cost. And to me, when you're modding a $300 truck, you don't need to spend $500 on a set of axles. Well, anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. While you're at it, make sure you click the subscribe button. And definitely, I can't wait to see you in another crawler video or any other RC here soon.